thing that's been on my mind lately, and I think I hope it's on everybody's mind as well, is obviously Palestine. Um, and with all the death and destruction that we see in Palestine every single day, it's a constant reminder of how short and temporary our life is here in this dunya. And we have a responsibility to sacrifice towards the things that are most important, right? We have to start to prioritize and say, what are the things that are truly important, not just for my dunya, but also for my akhirah. And this concept of sacrifice, especially in times of uncertainty, right, where we're not really certain, for example, who's going to be our next leader of this country, right? We're uncertain about the economy. We're uncertain about possibly our next job. We're uncertain about so many things that could happen, that could go wrong or go right in our life, that sometimes the remembrance of death allows us to recenter our priorities in a way that other things can't. And this is an important topic, especially with Eid al-Adha coming up. And it's something that we should think about for the following year and in the upcoming year. What are we willing to give? What are we willing to sacrifice? What would we be doing in a place such as Gaza? SubhanAllah, we had a doctor recently come back from Gaza. She's from our community in Toledo, but she spoke in Columbus, and we heard her speak. And it was absolutely emotionally gripping. Everything about it was incredibly emotional and sad. And there were times of happiness in her trip as well. But when you have that 1 degree of separation between you and Ahl Gaza, it really contextualizes everything that you're doing in your life. And you begin to think, I am living a very comfortable life here in America, a very comfortable life. Whether it be your accommodation, your food, your schooling, the fact that we get to be in a clean environment, that if I were to get sick, I can go to a doctor. Like, these doctors were on a mission trip, and they didn't even have the correct tools to save the people, right? They're there, they can give consultation, they can say like, hey, you need vitamins, you need to drink more of this and more of that, but sometimes those resources aren't even there. So in our very comfortable lives, in the very privileged life that we have, we all have a responsibility to assess our own lives. I can't tell you what you're capable of sacrificing. Only you can be in control of that. But to bring it back to Eid al-Adha and bring it back to Allah at the end of the day, because regardless of what we have, whatever Allah has given us, whatever privilege or status that we have, it's all a test, right? So everything that we have is really fake, and we're going to meet Allah, and He's going to ask us about what did we have and what did we sacrifice for His cause and for His sake. So we know the story. Sayyidina Ibrahim, Sayyidina Ismael, Sayyidina Hajar, they're all sacrificing. This is an entire family sacrificing for the cause of Allah. And we should think about our families in a very similar way, that we're not just an individual. Like Ismael Gad came to the masjid and decided to come to pray to Fajr. We should ask ourselves, where's my brother? Where's my sister? Where's my son? Where's my daughter? Where's the rest of the family? Are they involved in this mission of da'wah? And how do we invite them to Islam and invite them to this da'wah? So Allah Azza wa Jal says, "Qu anfusikum wa ahlikum nara," right? So there's a concept of like your family as well is responsible for you have a responsibility of inviting your family to this mission of Islam. So we learned that Sayyidina Hajar and Sayyidina Ismail, she's going back between Safa and Marwa, and we do this ritual when we go for Umrah and we go for Hajj. There's an uncertainty of like, where's the water, right? But it's all about movement. This concept of movement is very symbolic in Islam. The concept of going back between the Safa and Marwa, the concept of going around the Kaaba, circumambulating, I think is the right word, of going around the Kaaba, that this concept of movement is very important. So even if we're not exactly sure of what our next move is or what's the thing that we should be doing, sometimes just moving is very important. This is true with anything, even if you're a businessman. You have to make the phone calls, you have to reach out to people, you have to network, you have to ask the right questions. And then inshallah, Allah will show you the way of what's the correct way forward, right? SubhanAllah, we think of Sayyidina Musa, like you're reading about Sayyidina Musa, like he has his tribe of Bani Israel. They're escaping Fir'aun. Where do you go when you're trying to escape, when you're trying to run away? Maybe you go to a mountain, you go to, some distant place. He took him to the sea. Like if you're going into the sea, you're going, there's nowhere to go, right? But he was going for the sake of Allah, right? He had Allah and he was saying that Allah is going to be the one who's going to guide me. What's the ayah? Say, yeah. بالظبط هو دي. So like this concept is so powerful in that we're not so sure, but we put our trust in Allah, we put our tawakkul in Allah, and Allah will show the way. So may Allah make us people who are willing to sacrifice for this ummah, willing to sacrifice for our families, willing to sacrifice for the people who are oppressed. أقول قولي هذا واستغفر لي ولكم إنه هو الغفور الرحيم والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.